Richmond High School Performing Arts Hall of Fame. This was started back in the year 2007 to give appreciation and honor to those people or teachers or groups or whatever who had a chance to share of their gifts so that our community can continue the rich tradition of the value of arts. So before we go on and have a chance to listen to our honorees for the night, we'd like to start with New Richmond High School Trumpet Trio. Before we have a chance to listen to the honorees for the night, I did want to take a small time out to lift up the fact that this year in passing we have lost one of our Charter Hall of Fame members in the passing of Mr. William J. Kick. In tonight's concert, there will be a small tribute to him at request of their family, that there was not a memorial service or a funeral, but we do want to make sure that we have a chance to let the community know the passing of this amazing man and the opportunity that presents itself for us to make sure the community has a chance to share in that. So, without further delay, tonight we have a class of 3 Hall of Fame, 1 musical and 2 special people. So, to start us off, I'd like to introduce New Richmond High School Performing Arts Hall of Fame member for 2013, Valerie Beckett.
Actually did have some words. I just want to say that I am thrilled to be part of the Hall of Fame. When I learned about this a few weeks ago, I thought, wow, that's nice. But over the last few weeks it has grown, and it's so big. So, sorry. It's what I do. Anyway, this is just really neat. Music, playing the piano, has been what I do forever, it seems like. Started taking piano lessons when I was 5 years old. So I guess I need to stop at that point and say thank you to Mom for taking me to piano lessons for years and years and years, week after week. And she always reminded me to practice. The thing about practicing is I used to practice when Mom was doing the dishes. Right after dinner, if I would go to practice, she would do the dishes as long as I practiced. So if I stopped practicing, then I had to go and finish the dishes with her. So it was a few years, well, many years later, that I learned that she did this on purpose. She took forever to do the dishes, so I would practice longer. So thanks, Mom. Spent lots of time at the piano in the theater, and accompanying mixed chorus and troops and soloists and groups and the whole thing. At that time, I had the privilege of working with Mr. King also. So learned a lot from him, and I think we all did. The next great thing that happened was when my boys, Nick and Blake Beckett, went to high school. And they both have beautiful voices. I know it sounds a little biased, but
That's good.
I'm their mom, so that's allowed. The really cool thing was that they wanted me to accompany them. So I felt very special with that. So they both live away from home now, but whenever they come home, whenever they do come home, we always find our way to the piano, and we're always singing, and it's always really a good thing. So, like I said, things have just grown over the past few weeks, and I have gotten numerous emails and cards and flowers and gifts. I had flowers delivered to me at school today. I thought this was incredible. NRE staff is awesome, so supportive, and I love you guys. Anyway, much congratulations, and thank you all for being here.
Mark this down on your calendar. You heard somebody say, as a small child, "Thank you for making me practice piano." I heard her say it. It must be true because she said it in public.
I did.
That's wonderful. And yeah, your kids sound great. They're wonderful. It's not a coincidence that out of my entire teaching career, only once has a group of guys got together and every Christmas learned a piece, auditioned,
Yes.
get into the tour, even as freshmen. And that is because you made that happen. So you might not even realize it, but you were impacting kids all over the place, all the way through the journey. So thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Anyone else have anything they'd like to share with Valerie before we go on to our next honoree? Yes.
She also played every single concert and play that happened at Pierce Elementary for a long, 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 long time. And we all love that. You're welcome.
Oh, I remember the Pierce building. That was solid. That was solid. Well, thank you very much, and congratulations again, Valerie Beckett. And I would like to give you at this time, if you can come back up, we'd like to give you a plaque in honor of your Hall of Fame vote. Congratulations, Valerie Beckett, 2013 Hall of Famer. We will ask you to come up on stage at the time that you will receive your medallion and have a chance for the entire community to celebrate your work. Yeah, Jeff?
And I will wrap Valerie up. She's been my best friend since we were in 4th and 5th grade. I'm older. I was in 5th. This is her dedication. This is how strong of a dedication she has to music. And this is going to be a sweet little story. I get a phone call close to Easter years and years and years ago, and Valerie's father had passed away. And she called and said, "Mom wants to know if you'll sing at Dad's funeral." And I said, "Absolutely." And I hung up. We talked. It was a short conversation. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to get someone to play for me. And so I picked the phone up and I called back, and I got Valerie through Scott. And I said, "Valerie, who am I going to find to play? What do you want me to do?" She goes, "I thought about it. I'm going to play." And I thought, how awesome is that? That she knew how much the music was to her mother and father, and that that's what her father would want. She played at her father's funeral. And I think that just shows you the dedication to music.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So the next Hall of Famer for the night, 2004 graduate from New Richmond High School. We now like to present the New Richmond High School Hall of Fame, Performing Arts Hall of Fame member, Clark Wheeler. Come on up, Clark.
Thanks. I like that trumpet fanfare as an introduction. I think maybe they can follow me around and just kind of whenever I enter a room, kind of a thing. Well, it's an honor to be inducted to the Hall of Fame and to be here to see Mr. Heflin again and to see the music program. It was really a great place for me to come up to develop my musical interests, and the music program here I've found to be very special, and I know it is for a lot of kids, not just myself, but just the dedication that the teachers provide, and the nurturing of talents and interests is something that really shouldn't be overlooked. And Mr. Heflin really, I started taking piano lessons from him when I was in middle school, and I had been taking lessons since I was young, but to be honest, the moment when music really took off for me was when I started taking lessons from Mr. Heflin. He saw something in me that he felt he should. He started explaining music theory to me and that kind of thing, which was really took my interest and my dedication and my willing kind of passion for music to a new place where I hadn't been before. And throughout high school, it was great just to see a program where that really catered to the kids' interests and abilities, and could say, sure, you can play a new instrument in band. You can. I had the honor of having one of my compositions performed by Troubadours, and I ended up taking some post-secondary courses at CCM while I was still here, and just to see the teachers here really be enthusiastic about nurturing the students' growth in whatever direction possible. So I'm really grateful for this induction. Thank you, Mr. Heflin. Mr. Heflin, I don't think, I graduated 9 years ago and he looks the same today. I don't think he
Yeah.
But it's a real honor. Thank you to everybody. Thanks.
On behalf of the Richmond High School Performing Arts Hall of Fame, we'd like to congratulate you as a new inductee the year 2013. Thank you very much. Clark Wheeler. So the memory is maybe a little fuzzy, but it was something, Marty, and maybe you can help me out. So he starts taking piano lessons from me, and at the time, I think he had aspirations of being center for the UK basketball team. And he would show up at the house with a UK shirt. And at some point I said, in a very serious tone, I just want to let you know that I don't permit you to wear a UK shirt in here. And he said, okay, and didn't you change shirts before you come to lesson eventually? I mean, it's not as bad as an OSU shirt, but I mean, still. Did I cross across a line. I'm sorry. Sorry, that's what I was seeing. So, yeah, Clark showed so many wonderful gifts so early that in high school I hired him to orchestrate some of my work. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But one of the things I miss most about Clark is that sometimes some people think I'm actually a funny guy. And I'll make a joke or something, nobody gets it. Nobody gets it. And Clark would be there and he'd be laughing. It was like, thank you, Lord. This is good news. Now I just realize I'm not funny. But at the time I still had hope, and that was really good. So congratulations, Clark. Thank you for coming out tonight. So the third thing going into the Hall of Fame tonight is kind of an odd one. So here we go.
Can I
Yes.
say something quickly about
Oh yeah, let's go. I'm sorry. Let's go on and have some Clark sharing.
I'm sorry, first of all, you have changed so much since last time we've seen you, because your hair is gone. We remember Clark as the long gown, yeah, so you look wonderful, no. But what I want to say too, Clark and my oldest son, Nick, are good friends. We're very good friends in high school. And so Clark would occasionally come over to the house. I had just had my new piano delivered, and with all my piano students, and most of them are young ones, you know, I hear lots of clinking and flunking, and you understand.
Yes, ma'am.
So most of the time my piano only sang for me when I played it. Clark came over one time and he saw the piano and he goes, "Oh, can I play?" And I said, "Yes, please." So Clark sat down and played, and the piano was singing again. And I enjoyed it. I walked all around the house and I listened to how my piano sounded. And it was from another area. But I so appreciated when you played the piano, and it was sounding so good too.
Thank you.
Yes. That sounds like free food to me. I don't know if I misread that or not. That sounds really good. That's wonderful. Anyone else like to share any Clark Wheeler memories? There are many, and we certainly have appreciated you. So it was 1997, 98, and there was a resignation that caused us to cancel the spring musical. So here we are in April. And the drama club says, we want to do a musical. And we said, well, the drama director just left. And I sat down, I thought about it, and I said, well, you know what? My roommate from college and I had a musical that was almost done. I wonder if we could do something with that. So I took a look at it, and I said, okay, the problem is that people are going out of town. If we do the show, it has to be done in 2 weeks. I will give you the score, I'll give you the libretto, and you have 2 weeks. They said, okay. So it took about 3 weeks to finish the scoring of the show. The show was called Dream Master, and we passed it out. We took the week after graduation off, and then rehearsed Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. The next week, Monday through Thursday, performed Thursday night, memorized. And they did it. They did it. And so, as far as I'm concerned, it's by far the quickest production I've ever had to be involved with. And there are a couple things that are really interesting. If you have a chance after we're done here, there's a display in the lobby that has the new Hall of Famers plaques, and there's a window that has some pictures. Homecoming King. Your hair was way down. It's solid, buddy. You had enough for a decent ponytail. Get yourself a motorbike and you're out of here, man. And if you go in there, you'll get to see a couple pictures, the only extant pictures from Dream Master. And you will see that there is a book it's called the Book of Dreams. And it must be 7 foot high and 10 foot wide. And we had a student named Maggie Lamb. And many of you know who Maggie Lamb was. Maggie is now one of the exhibitors at the Guggenheim in New York City. She's pretty awesome. And I told her what I really want was a life-size book where people can jump into in the middle and then disappear in front of the audience. And everyone was laughing at me except her. She says, let me see what I can come up with. So if you have a chance to look at the pictures, you'll get to see the Book of Dreams. She made it out of some material, and it looks like it comes in. And when it was time for the main characters to disappear in the Book of Dreams, they jumped into the book, was swallowed up by the book, and the book came back up. Very cool. It was very neat. The show was done on a Thursday night, and the last song was done being rewritten on the Wednesday, the day before the premiere. And so the whole concept was, are we going to be able to get the kids, we even had a couple kids who had already graduated, are we going to be able to make sure that happens? And it did. And it was just a great experience. Ryan Mullaney. So the whole concept of this is that there's a young man who invents a dream world and then falls in love with a girl in the dream world. But a person from reality and a person from the dream world can't fall in love. And of course they have to fall in love. And that's when they escape through the Book of Dreams. But the Book of Dreams was a time machine. And so there was an Old West scene and a night scene and all of this. And Ryan Mullaney said that he had always dreamed about dying on stage. And I said, well, I bet we can do that. I bet we can find a scene where you can get shot. And then there was a second scene. So he gets into the cowboy scene and says, no, he died 5 times in the show. That's all he wanted to do. So his character was guy on left that gets shot. A guy behind the other guy who doesn't get shot, who gets shot. And it was a really neat experience. They did it memorized. So in 8 days, in a week and a half, they were able to make a musical happen. So the reason it's going in the Hall of Fame is not because of the brilliance of the writing or the quintessential drama that occurred on stage. It was a group of students who made a decision they wanted to make something happen, and they found a way to do it. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the same thing our Hall of Famers have done. They figured out how to reach those passions and do those things that they love so much. So tonight, the musical Dream Master will be put into the Hall of Fame because of the cast and the willingness that they had to make it all come to life. So tonight they go into the Hall of Fame, the cast members who made the show happen. And I think that is a wonderful thing. Is there anything else that anyone would like to share for any of the Hall of Famers, or anything you'd like to share before we break and meet again at the concert?
I'll
Mr.
share
Bill.
something really quick. I was talking to Valerie when she came in. Valerie and I went to high school together, a wonderful class of 1982. And Valerie accompanied me on a lot of solos at solo and ensemble contests through high school. When I got to college and was majoring in music, I looked at what I had to pay my accompanists. In college, I'm thinking, what a sweet deal I had. Man, yeah. So,
Epic checks.
With interest by now, I don't know.
They're feeding Clark, apparently, so they're really open to lots of new ideas. In some ways, this Hall of Fame is a celebration of servants. That ultimately, if you take a look at the Hall of Fame, we have 18 inductees now. If you take a look at it, there's an enormous group of humble servants who have just found their passion and shared it with countless people. And that's why a Hall of Fame like this is a real treasure for a community, because it gives us a chance to thank people who have so humbly given. So, thank you very much. One more round of applause for Ms. Beckett, Mr. Naegel.